Recording now.
Great. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining me. My name is Marci Speich, and I am a member of Be Well. I am also a teacher for Madison Public Schools and a yoga and mindfulness teacher. I have a business called Backyard Yoga, where I offer yoga and mindfulness to the community. So I really appreciate you joining the practice today. This is one part of a three-part series. You can perhaps check out the other two. One of them is a chair movement yoga practice. What you are about to participate in right now is also supported by a chair, but we're going to do some standing poses. And at the same time, I'm going to be offering some movement that is coming from the tradition of Qigong. So Qigong is loosely translated as Qi is energy and Gong is master. And so it's about gaining awareness and control and feeling and sensation around the energy of your body. You will need a chair if that's going to help you to feel more balanced. Otherwise, you certainly can just stand. You'll have plenty of space if you're in maybe a 3-foot by 3-foot space. You'll want to be able to move your arms around. And that is about it. So let's go ahead and get ourselves set up. I'm going to have a dining room chair, you'll see, next to me like so. Good. I'm going to tip my screen just an inch so you can see my head. All right, so let's begin the practice by just dropping in. So place your hands somewhere that you feel kind of settled. Maybe you want to put your hands on your belly. Maybe it feels right to have one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, and the feet grounded into the earth. You could have the legs spread a little bit so that, let me just show you, my feet are just about hips width apart. If you'd like to close your eyes, close your eyes. And let's use this as a time to begin to just drop out of whatever you may have been doing before you turned on the video. Getting out of our thinking brain. And let's get into the felt sense of the body. You've had your left foot into the earth and your right foot into the earth. Maybe you notice some holding or some gripping somewhere in your body. Even just check in with the knees. Are you locking your knees? Can you give the knees a little bounce or just the knees a little softness? How about the shoulders? Are the shoulders creeping up towards your ears, or can you let the shoulders relax and release away? Holding and softening. Feeling the breath. The movements that I'll offer you today, I hope maybe will just make you feel a bit more alert, maybe wake you up, kind of energy building, but at the same time relaxed, so that balance of alert, but relaxed. Couple more breaths in stillness. And then if the eyes were closed, you can open them and release the hands by your sides. And the first movement is called Door of Life. And it's simply just swinging the arms side to side. And you can, if you choose, make some fists with the hands. And I'm giving a little bit of a knock to my back. And I'm giving a little bit of a knock to my lower abdomen. So this tapping sensation or this physical feedback sensation into the body can kind of wake us up, give us a little energy, and it also is dropping us out of our thinking mind into the body. Maybe you want to add the gaze too. So each time you go to the right, you look to the right. Each time you go to the left, you look to the left. I'm going to keep my head forward. And this isn't a banging on the body. It's just a gentle tapping and sensation. Going as fast or as slow as you choose. And then let the fist release, turning it more into a pat with an open hand. And then start to slow down just naturally, however your body can slow. Arms might swing a few more times. And then we pause between each movement. We're going to just stop and notice what we notice. It's not uncommon to feel a little bit of tingling in the fingers or the hands. Using the breath as an anchor to stay in the present moment. Good. All right, so now sticking with this kind of physical feedback sensation, we're going to do some more tapping. I'm opening up my hands and I'm going to tap down the sides of my legs all the way down to my ankles. And then when I come back up, I'm tapping more of the inside of my legs and even my belly. Going up and down, just like so, as quick or as slow motion as you want. Tapping down and up. Now this might be something new and you're thinking, what in the world are we doing? And just notice if this feels funny or strange or unusual to you. Be in the experience. One more time, up and down, just like that. I'm going to fix my camera. And then again, we pause. Eyes might close for these pauses in between. Notice what shows up. Is there any judgment that that was sort of awesome? Or maybe there's some judgment that was really weird, and that's okay. There's not a right or a wrong way to feel here. Using the breath to stay present. Good. Okay, let's try one more tapping, kind of an idea. And this time we're going to use the hand across the body to go up the arm and down the arm. So I'm taking my left hand and I'm going outside of my right arm, all the way up my shoulder. And then I'm tipping my head to even give a little tap into the neck. And then when I come down, I'm going more to the inside of my arm. And I'm going to stick with this same side several times, up and down, knocking a little bit into the neck. And then I go to the inside of the arm and come down. As I'm doing this, I can kind of feel almost, especially in the neck, like I'm just allowing those muscles to let go of any gripping. One more time, up and down. Let's change sides. My right hand's going across my body. This time I'm going up my right arm. I go right over the shoulder and into the neck. And you go just as, and then inside of the arm on the way down. Go just as hard as it feels like you might just be adding a little bit of a release or sensation. You're not banging on yourself. A few times, just like that. Still breathing. Eyes can be open or closed. One more time, up. And one more time down. And we're back to that pause. Again, the hands could be on the belly if that feels right, or just hands hanging soft by your side. Notice what you notice. Can you notice a shift in your energy level? Can you notice a shift in the breath? Great. Okay, so this is the next movement where your chair might be useful. I'm going to have one hand on my chair. And if you've taken a yoga class, you might be familiar with what is called tree. So my chair is I'm using my chair to support my balance. And I'm going to start with my left leg, which is away from the chair. And I'm placing my foot onto my leg. Now, if that feels really steady, maybe you let go of the chair and bring the hands to the heart, or maybe the hands can go up or a goalpost, or maybe that doesn't feel safe and you're going to keep this bent leg, the foot, right on the ground. It's really important that you choose what feels safe and what feels right for you. Hands here, hands here, hands here. Eyes opened or closed. And using this shape as a way to just come back to this moment. Roots down into the earth. Steady breath. One more breath here in this position, inhaling. Might feel good to exhale with a sigh. And then if the leg is up, go ahead and bring it down. We're going to change sides. So for me, it's just easy to move the chair to the side, but maybe you're going to choose to just turn around, and that's fine too. This time, my right leg is away from the chair. And so I'm opening my knee, opening up the hip to the side. I have my foot on my leg, but maybe you would rather just have a kickstand like this. See how this time I have my foot just into the floor. Choosing a hand position that feels right for you. Maybe the hands are at your heart. Maybe the hands are in a goalpost. And just feeling the strength of the tree through the roots. Think of a palm tree in a storm. It's not going to be completely still, right? It's going to sway, but it still has a certain strength and groundedness because it's connected to the earth. And we hold here for several breaths. If you find that you are thinking or planning, see if you can just invite yourself instead to feel into the body, maybe the foot or the breath. And then one more deep inhale and try out that sigh. Hands can come down, leg can come down. Using the chair again, you're going to come behind the chair. I'm turning my chair to the side just so you can see, but you can certainly just walk behind your chair. This is a variation of what might kind of be like a downward dog position in yoga. So I'm going to put my hands on the back of my chair and I walk away from the chair to lengthen my spine. So instead of having my hands on the ground like a downward dog, I have my hands on the back of the chair and I'm going to look between the arms and let my head hang heavy. So staying with this, I'm just going to turn my head towards the camera so that you can hear me. Feel as if you're elongating the spine. So there's a nice opening in the armpits, there's an opening in the shoulders and in the chest. Almost like you can barely reach your chair. You're stretching towards your chair and your hips are moving back. Taking a breath or two here. Soften your face, soften your tongue, easing into the opening. To come out of the pose, you're just going to walk the feet, walk, 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 back towards the chair. And then standing again in the middle. Hands can just relax by your sides. And once again, let's pause. If it's helpful to close your eyes, close your eyes. Hands maybe on the heart and belly, hands maybe by the sides. You decide. What was that like? And then if the eyes are closed, open them back up. I have one final movement for you, circling back from the yoga positions back to one more Qigong inspired movement. You're going to begin with your hands at your lower belly, coming close. You can see I have my hands just kind of like so, like a basket maybe. This is called centering. So what you probably should do the first several times, watch. Once you get the rhythm or the feeling of it, close your eyes so that you can move into the centering position if that feels safe to you. I'm going to start with my right arm, and it goes up over my head, and then I cut right down the middle of my body, and the hand goes back to where I started, and then the left hand goes up, cuts right down through the middle, and then that hand lands on top, and then the right hand goes again. Now you can take this just like all the other poses as slow or as fast as you would like. It's not about perfect form. It's about just experiencing this movement through space, experiencing this movement in your body. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. If it's helpful to keep watching, then you just keep watching. Staying with the breath. And play with it a little bit. Maybe you want to go kind of quickly a couple of rounds, or maybe you want to go really slow for a couple of rounds. Why don't you do one more on each side? And then pause. Feeling any sensation or any shift in energy. If your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them back up. I always like to end my practice with a collective breath with the group. So arms are to either side, and we're going to take a nice deep breath in together, inhaling lift. You can even look to the sky, and then an exhale, a nice release of let it go. Perfect. Let's join our hands at our heart. And a brief silent thank you to yourself for taking time out of your busy week to focus on your wellness. And know that you can bring yourself back to this feeling of groundedness anytime that you choose to. Namaste.